Entering the playoffs of 2017, here are the Super Bowl favorites brought to you by OffshoreInsiders.com. Again, www.offshoreinsiders.com, which is the place to go for the winning picks against the spread throughout the NFL playoffs. And, of course, what a basketball season it's been so far. Well, not surprisingly, those New England Patriots are the favorites to win the Super Bowl. You can say that pretty much every year since Tom Brady took over as quarterback, and probably for a few more years to come. Dallas Cowboys are now number 2 as far as the Super Bowl odds are concerned. The Atlanta Falcons, a lot of people saying they're getting no respect. Number 3, Green Bay, Kansas City, and Pittsburgh top the list of favorites. The long shots, Oakland and Detroit, are the 2 long shots, which is no surprise for Oakland, being that they are down to their number 3 quarterback as they enter the wild card round. Maybe they will have their backup quarterback if they do go beyond the wild card round. But Detroit, a team with a lot of weapons on offense, but apparently Matt Stafford not being given much respect by the odds makers. He's got a pretty good team around him, but he is considered, the Detroit Lions, I should say, in reality, are considered the long shots. The Seattle Seahawks, of course, a team that has won the Super Bowl with their current quarterback coach and their nucleus, although they certainly had a better running back, and then, of course, came within a few yards of winning back-to-back Super Bowls, but they are relative long shots. By the way, these odds I should have said up front, but they're based on $100 per bet. So, in other words, if you bet on Seattle to win the Super Bowl, and you're right, if you bet $100, you win $1,335. In the case of, say, the Pittsburgh Steelers, you win $965. And the Steelers haven't had a lot of time. They were healthy each of the last 2 years, but they certainly have been healthy entering the playoffs, and they may be the best of the relative long shots. And I say relative long shots, but yeah, that would be the equivalent of almost 10 to 1. If you, those of you might be more familiar with the fractional odds, Pittsburgh is almost a 10 to 1 long shot. That's what it would convert to. Now, as far as to go to the Super Bowl, that is win the NFC, the Dallas Cowboys, a little bit more than even money there, plus 155. The Atlanta Falcons at plus 340, so that is a little bit more than 3 to 1. And again, you can see the Detroit Lions are actually considered to be the longest shot. The New York Giants, also a somewhat of a long shot to go to the Super Bowl. And again, throughout the NFL playoffs, not just the wild card round, but divisional round, the conference finals, the championship games, the Super Bowl, basketball, offshoreinsiders.com is the place to go. Again, www.offshoreinsiders.com. How about the AFC? Well, New England is less than even money. You got to lay $1.60. So if you want to win $100, you must risk $160 on the New England Patriots. Everyone else would be considered a long shot, and this is just to win the AFC. This is to go to the Super Bowl. So the Kansas City Chiefs are actually number 2. The Pittsburgh Steelers, again, relative long shot, almost at 5 to 1 to win the conference. Houston Texans, they don't have much of a quarterback situation. No surprise. Here, the teams with the weakest quarterback situations, the Miami Dolphins, the Oakland Raiders, they're the ones that are considered to be the longest shots to win the AFC and to go to the Super Bowl, either with weak quarterback situations and or, of course, because of injuries, down to a backup, as is the case with the Oakland Raiders, who, of course, had arguably the NFL MVP at quarterback Carr until he got hurt. And, of course, he is out. In the Miami Dolphins, we're finally getting a good year out of Tannehill, but he is out for the playoffs. So there they are, brought to you by OffshoreInsiders.com. Again, for the winning picks, www.offshoreinsiders.com.